The path we're on is both dangerous and it's costly. And the Congressional Budget Office, a nonpartisan group, gave us that early warning signal today, and we should listen very closely to what that means. It's telling us what the next financial crisis will look like in this country. Just the interest expense alone to finance this rising debt will be more than double what it is today. The issue here is that certainly spending and expenses are rising at a much faster rate than revenue is increasing in this country. As a result, we have things like Medicare and Social Security that are going to be more than double their historical average of expense.
That's the nub of it,
but
isn't
don't
it, Larry?
despair.
That's it. Wait a second. That's it. The CBO says it's entitlement programs. They're not being reformed.
That's right.
They're out of control. They're the gorilla in the patch. They beat up our economy, right?
Sure. That's right. Look, even today, we hear people in Washington popping the champagne corks about the decline in the deficit. We're still going to spend more than $500 billion, more than we take in this year. So we should hold that applause and look out into the future. Rather than pass the buck, bury our heads in the sand, and leave this to the next generation to pay for, there are some things we can do to address this issue, rather than just raise taxes, which is what Washington's been doing to pay for this. Some of those include, for example, corporate tax reform. Companies like Apple and IBM have more than $2 trillion of their own money stashed overseas. If they just bring it back and we allow them to bring their own money back, it'll create jobs, revenue, economic growth.
The real problem is the entitlement programs. And do you really think
Absolutely.
Do you really think that Medicare, Social Security are going to be truly reformed, bring them into financial good health? Do you think that's going to happen? That's the third rail of politics. You can't touch that.
It's got to be a combination of the spending issue, which is really what's out of control. That is excessive, and that's beyond anything we've seen in history. That's what's exploding our national debt. That's what's going to hurt the next generation. That's what we're going to leave as a legacy to our kids, is spendaholics, right? And that's what we have to be careful of. However, the revenue piece is important, and there are things we can do without government involvement. Get the government out of the way. Let companies simply grow. A subpar recovery has generated very little economic growth. That's part of the reason we have this issue. There's no question, Stuart. The entitlement issue is a massive concern, and it's a tidal wave that we're going to face. But there are things we can be doing today, and Congress has been unwilling to do them because of partisan politics.
Let me close it with this.
Yes.
The one thing that would really give us significant growth, and that's what we all want, 4, 5, 6% growth for an extended period of time. You know, the one thing that's going to give you that, significant cuts in personal income tax rates and a cut in the corporate tax rate. You agree with me?
That's right. We're going down the wrong path. That's the path we need to consider. Rather than bigger government, more expensive and more taxes, shrink government, allow companies and people to grow and prosper, and allow entrepreneurship to be what it was 20 and 30 years ago in this country. We can get back there and we can deal with this issue, but we have to get some teamwork in Washington.
Let's see if we can get that done. Odds, I suspect, are rather against it in the near future. Larry Glazer, thank you very much indeed, sir. We appreciate it.
My pleasure.